The Finance Committee of the Hillsborough City Council will review a request from the city administration to transfer $30,000 from the city's street construction fund to the professional services fund, where it would be utilized for contingencies, redesign of the city's website, and to pay outside legal counsel to look into options regarding the Hillsborough Firefighters Union. While the administration stressed that they were not asking for additional funds, council members wanted more specific answers regarding how the money would be spent. Hillsborough Safety and Service Director Rick Giroux asked Council during their regular meeting Monday to consider a resolution authorizing a transfer of $9,000 from the Recreation Fund to the General Fund to cover the additional costs for a code enforcement officer in the Hillsborough Police Department. Giroux then asked Council to consider an addendum to the legislation, authorizing the $30,000 transfer.
I would have done it earlier and would have had it presented in a resolution format for you for tonight. Unfortunately, it was a last-minute adjustment, and we'll recover expenses.
You surely would have known last month what you was going to want money for towards this, asking for it right now.
Well,
I mean, you've been working on this stuff, and it looks like you would have known that you could have asked ahead of time.
I think what people are wondering here is this chunk of money that's being moved over. And part of it is, and I would probably say a healthy part of it is for specialized labor services as regards our fire contracts and looking forward into our options with what we are doing. I don't think that's any secret. It has cost us some money in the short term, I think, to solve a long-term problem. I think at the end of the day, this will be probably money well spent for everybody.
What I am uncomfortable about is a blanket amount to cover several different things. I personally like to see it broken down to know where it's going. I think we owe the citizens that because they're earning money that is making that money that this project's happening.
I absolutely agree, but I also want to say that it's not like we're coming before council and asking for additional appropriations. These are monies that have already been budgeted. We're just simply reallocating.
I'm not going to vote for something that's being used for labor negotiations when there is not a labor contract that is being. We're not in the process of doing a labor contract.
I didn't say labor negotiations. I said our options. There's a difference between negotiations. Our labor council is looking at various options, one of them being the IFF contract.
Council President Lee Kugler put the $30,000 transfer into the Finance Committee for review. Council then voted 6-0 to approve the original resolution requesting the $9,000 transfer. Following the meeting, the Highland County Press addressed Hastings and Giroux, asking if they could be more specific with what the legal counsel is working on regarding the IAFF.
Can you please elaborate what those options are? You had said it wasn't necessarily the contract, and you were exploring lots of options. Is that the district? Is that looking at Greenfield and joining with them? What options do those include?
You know what? I can't comment on those, Brandy, because we are talking. We are exploring options, and I think it would be imprudent to discuss what our options are right now while we're exploring our options. I know that sounds very catch-22, but that's kind of what that is.
I understand that to an extent, but when, I guess I'm in the same position that council is in before they can approve such a large sum, wanting to know with a little bit more certainty what it's going to go towards.
No, I think what you can do is, it'll be more explicit. It's obviously going to committee, so I guess when committee gets briefed, everybody gets briefed because it'll be public resolution.
Will you try to be more specific? Obviously in a prudent way that won't negatively impact your negotiations in any way, but will you try to be...
And that's why I'm hesitant to have any comment on it, because I don't want to negatively impact anything. If I were more well-versed in all of this, maybe I would be able to elaborate more to you, but in the absence of maybe not being as well-versed, I would rather not say anything.
Okay.